If you've lost money because of a bad hair supplier, or you are struggling to find reliable hair vendors, I've been there. I know exactly how it feels. I think I've lost over thousands of dollars because of bad hair from my suppliers. Honestly, I had enough last year. Last year, I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. Why did I enter the hair business to lose money? Or why am I losing money in my hair business? So I made a decision to go to Vietnam. And that decision changed my business and changed actually my mindset about the hair business. When I came back, I sat down. I spent months trying to understand everything I had learned when I went to Vietnam, and I condensed everything into Notes from Vietnam. Notes from Vietnam is going to transform your hair business. And I know you are wondering, like, why should I spend this amount just for a course about hair vendors when I can find hair vendors online? Listen, this course is going to transform your hair business. So stick and stay. First, I'm going to tell you everything, my hair business journey, how I got here after 7 years, and everything you need to know about Notes from Vietnam. Let's go. So 2017, I was still in school by then. I started making wigs. And then 2018, a friend of mine encouraged me to buy hair from Nigeria and sell. So I was buying hair from Miss Waneka and Bow Hairs because I wasn't sure of how to start selling hair or how to start getting hair from Vietnam. So I did some research. I reached out to some vendors online, and that was in 2018. I found a vendor online and I started buying hair. I didn't know anything about it. So I was just buying hair. Even when it comes, I wouldn't do the test I'm supposed to do and then I'll sell it. But then what helped was that I was actively marketing my business. That's what really helped. Now, fast forward, I kept researching new vendors every 3 months. I would test a new vendor out. And that's what really helped me. So, and then I finally got to a vendor that, their first sample, I was amazed. I was like, I've never seen beautiful hair like this before. I was like, oh my God, I have found my vendor for life. Now, I was buying hair worth $14,000 from this vendor alone every single month. $14,000. You know, at that time, the dollar rate was I think that was 2 years ago, 2021, 2022, around that time. I was buying hair worth $14,000 every single month from this vendor, only to realize that the first few batches of hair were amazing. But the next few batches, this vendor would just put hair that was shedding, mixed hair that was shedding in it, and I wouldn't notice because I'm like, okay, this vendor, I trust this vendor. I can put my money on this vendor. So guess what happened? Clients will receive their hair and then they'll complain that their hair is shedding badly. And then I'm like, okay, I'll take the hair and replace it. Then I'll go and complain to this vendor. And then this vendor will just apologize and offer me a discount on my next order because they know for a fact that you can't send the bad hair back to Vietnam. That's the problem. So that happened for a while. And I don't even know why I was stuck with this vendor. I don't know if it's because of the promised discount or what, but even after people had complained, I kept going back. Even though I was testing other vendors, but this vendor I felt was good in some textures. So I kept going back. And also when I stopped buying for a while, because of the kind of money that they were making from me, they would be reaching out to me a lot every single week. Oh, we'll give you a discount. We are sorry, we have upgraded our hair over and over and over until I just completely stopped. I said I wasn't going to do this again. Instead of spending that amount of money on bad hair, let me travel to Vietnam. That was last year. Last year, I was like, by hook or by crook, I am going to Vietnam. And it's actually good I did it last year because this year, unfortunately, I wouldn't have been able to go. So last year, I went and I didn't want to visit that vendor, but I was like, oh, let me go ahead and visit that vendor. And guess what? Even after visiting them face to face, their factory was messy. It wasn't organized. There were so many things laying around haphazardly. So that actually showed me that this vendor is exactly who they say they are. They were showing me who they were by their actions. Yet I was still giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that because of the good hair I had the first few times I ordered from them, it would still, like, maybe there's still hope for them. But when I went to Vietnam, I realized that this vendor did not prioritize their customers' needs. It was very clear. Out of all the factories I visited, they didn't even show me, like me being their long-time visitor, I didn't receive the kind of welcome that other factories even gave me, right? So that showed you that this vendor is all about the money. They don't care about you. And I'm very sure a lot of you are going through this kind of challenge with your vendors, and you don't know how to navigate this and how to come out of this because you are scared. You're like, this vendor showed me this. Why would I try other vendors? What if they are all the same? And that is why I decided to create Notes from Vietnam. Because when I went to Vietnam, I just didn't go there and ask, how much is this hair? How much is this hair? Show me your bone straight. No. I went and I took videos of everything and I asked deep questions. Even this vendor that I complained had kind of almost destroyed my business, I spent 6 hours in their factory. 6 hours. Not because I was trying to give them another chance, but I wanted to understand the business better. I wanted to understand why they would give me a very good batch of hair and then the next batch is going to be really bad. So I really wanted to understand what was going on over there. And trust me, I was able to uncover so many secrets. So first of all, this vendor, all the problem lies in their production process. Their raw materials are amazing. Their raw hair, bulk hair that is cut from the vendor is beautiful. So when you order samples, the samples are going to be beautiful, but their quality control during the production process is a mess. It's a total mess. That is what I discovered when I visited this factory. And there are other factories that I also visited, and some factories had pets all around, animals all around. Where you are making hair for people to wear, you have some pets, some animals just lying beside the hair. And I think that is actually part of the quality control process that is missing. The hair industry, because it's not heavily regulated, people just get up and do whatever they want to do at the expense of we, the retailers, our money, because we end up losing so much money because some of these vendors just get up and decide to do whatever they want to do. So that's why it's very important for you to get Notes from Vietnam, because in Notes from Vietnam, I don't hold anything back. Trust me, I don't hold anything back. The same way I'm describing everything to you now, I go in depth. I talk about every factory one by one. I talk about, so even when I was going to Vietnam, I took a competitor's hair there because I wanted to try and match and see if I could get something as good as that, because that was a competitor that I admired, right? I went through all these 16 factories and I didn't find any hair that was so close to that hair. So maybe that hair was not Vietnamese hair. Nonetheless, I was still able to get really, really good factories. So I visited factories that specialized in bone straight, factories that specialized in HD frontals, factories that specialized in hair for Caucasian, so hair extensions, K-tips, clip-ins, and stuff like that. I visited factories that specialized in raw hair, right? I visited some of these popular vendors that you've been seeing on TikTok and Instagram. I visited them. So if you would like to see behind the scenes secrets that haven't been shared before of these factories, you should definitely enroll for Notes from Vietnam. Because to be honest, this is a course I wish I had. If I had this course, I think my business would not be where it is now. It would have been far advanced, to be honest, because I can't calculate the amount of money I have lost because of bad hair vendors. And I know now it's a thing of the past, because now, what do? I work smarter and not harder. I have 5 to 10 vendors I work with consistently, and I'm constantly rotating them. Sometimes I'm researching, I'm testing new vendors out. I even wanted to go to Vietnam again this year to go and meet 20 new vendors, but I wasn't able to go. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Notes from Vietnam is the complete package. So in Notes from Vietnam, I run through every single thing about every factory I visited. And then I also bought samples from every factory. At the beginning of each video, I take you through the factory visits. And at the end, after I came back, I analyzed most of these samples. And then I would show you a video of me analyzing each and every bundle. And that was like weeks after I had come back. So I was testing the bundles to see if they had held up after weeks of me buying them from Vietnam. Okay, so who is Notes from Vietnam for? A lot of people ask me this, and they're like, I'm just starting out. Do I need Notes from Vietnam? I've been in the business for a while. I have some vendors I trust. Do I need Notes from Vietnam? I went to Vietnam after 6 years of being in the hair industry. And the things I learned from my 10-day stay in Vietnam transformed my hair business. Aside the vendors I visited, I also learned a lot of things that happened behind the scenes. Now, did you know that some vendors will actually buy their hair, or they have factories in Vietnam for sourcing the hair, and then they go and manufacture it in China, or they go and process the hair in China because the machines in China are better. The processes, the quality control in China is better, right? Did you know this? Did you know that most of the vendors in Vietnam, actually, some of them operate from their living rooms. So they just have the machines and the little things set up to process the hair. And they do everything in their living rooms, the same place where they live. And did you know that some of the vendors, whilst they are making the hair, the little pieces that fall off, they gather it and they add it to hair pieces that fall off on the salon floors, and they put them together and make bundles that they call Remy and sell to us in Africa. If you didn't know all of this, you need Notes from Vietnam. It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner, you've been in the industry for 5, 10 years. There's a lot I didn't know, trust me. There's a lot I didn't know, and I discovered. And I still feel there's a whole gap of knowledge that there's a whole lot I still don't know, to be honest. I know that at the end of the day, business is a learning curve. So I'll keep trying my best. I'll keep visiting vendors. I'll keep visiting factories, as many as I can. And I'll make sure I learn almost everything I can about this hair business. Because once you are spending money on it, once it's money that you have invested in, you need to know. Knowledge is going to save you thousands of dollars. Don't make the same mistake that I made. For my YouTube, for people here in my YouTube or people here on my YouTube channel, I do have a webinar coming up. So this webinar is I'm going to answer some of your deep questions about Notes from Vietnam and about even my Vietnam trip. So I'm going to put the details of this webinar. I think I'll announce it in the next video. So stay tuned. And also, Notes from Vietnam is currently, it's supposed to be 3,000 cedis. That's the full price. That's the launch price. But if you pay before 24th of July, you're going to get it for 2,000 cedis. That is $195 only. Now this, imagine you pay $195 and you get access to, so it feels like you pay $195 for a flight ticket to Vietnam, a hotel stay in Vietnam, and you pay $195 to visit 16 factories and to test the samples. Oh my God, it's incredible. This investment is going to transform your entire business. What I'm going to do is, because I want you to understand the value of Notes from Vietnam, and because I'm having so many questions, people keep reaching out to ask questions about it, I'm going to dedicate a video to each module. So there are 4 modules in Notes from Vietnam. Module 1 talks about how the hair industry came about, because you need to understand the basic terms about hair. before you understand your vendor. So how the hair industry came about, how we moved from Brazilian hair, China hair, all the way to Vietnamese hair, and also the terminologies in hair, because these Vietnam people, they will use language barrier to trick you. They are calling most of their terrible hair Remy. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be non-Remy, because Remy hair is hair that has its cuticles aligned. Non-Remy hair is hair that has been gathered together and does not have its cuticles aligned. But the vendors, because of language barrier, they are calling their really bad hair Remy. So you need to know the term so that you don't get confused when you're buying your hair. Module 2 talks about how to test your samples, which is very important, and the kind of samples you should buy. The first sample you should buy. And Module 1 also talks about how you can find your own vendors. Aside all this, aside notes from Vietnam, how you can also find more vendors that you want to work with. And then Module 2 talks about the terminologies and also how to test for samples, the sample order you should make from each vendor, and how to test for samples. I go in depth into everything. And then the various hair textures, because these Asians will try to, these Vietnamese people may try to confuse you sometimes. Module 3, I take you through all my factory visits one by one, every single factory visit. And then Module 4, I talk about pricing. So I show you my own pricing method, how I price my hair, how you can also price your hair, and which vendor is good for which hair. And also we talk a bit about branding and marketing and how to launch and relaunch your hair business. It's the entire package. It's the full package. If I had this 4 years ago, I know where my hair business would be right now. So if you want notes from Vietnam, just WhatsApp the number on your screen. It is my WhatsApp number. You would get into direct contact with me, and then I can answer any questions you have. And once you make the payment, you'll be added to the WhatsApp group. If you have any questions at all, you can just ask and then I'll help you out. And you can also click the link over here as well. You can go to visit this site and then pay for notes from Vietnam as well. 2,000 CDs. And then that promo price or that pre-order price ends on 24th of July when it goes back to its original price of 3,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope I was able to impact into you. And even if you don't buy the course, just stay on this channel. Make sure you subscribe, you like and share, because I don't hold back. People in my growth circle, my mentorship group, they know I don't hold back. When I'm giving advice, I give advice from my heart. I'll tell you the things that I am doing which are not working for me. I'll encourage you to do the things that are going to work for you as well. Mistakes that I have made, I will not guide you to make those same mistakes. So I don't hold back. So it's very important for you to subscribe and stick and stay on this channel because I have so much to come. Bye.